everyone. Welcome to the first episode of our podcast, Tech and Thoughts. I'm Sanika.
And I am Urvashi. This podcast is by two moms working in Silicon Valley raising toddlers. We will talk about our experiences and parenting questions we face in our daily lives.
Our topic today is about raising kids around Google Home, Alexa, and other such home devices. So let's start by talking about common use cases. Tell me, Urvashi, do you use Google Home for learning, entertainment? What else?
Yeah, Sanika. So, as you know, I have a 1.5-year-old daughter, and of course, one of the use cases is teaching and learning. We play animal sounds and rhymes on Google Home. And of course, we also use it for entertainment. My daughter listens to a lot of music through this, right? But I think beyond that, one of the very interesting use cases of AI, I would say in general, is we've started exploring this is to create personalized stories for my daughter. And, the really interesting piece is that we are able to build in her name. The AI is able to build in her name into the stories, and which she really relates to. And AI remembers context. So like she's currently in her astronaut phase. So AI remembers that and builds the narrative around it.
That's super cool. We need to try that. My kids are 5 and 2, and they also ask a lot of questions to our Google Home. And now with ChatGPT's voice offering, this is just so much better. It's at the next level. Their conversations are more of a back and forth. ChatGPT will actually ask them questions. And the coolest thing is that I can prompt it at the beginning of their conversation, asking it to explain things at a 5-year-old's level.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's really interesting that a kid is doing that. I almost wonder, Sanika, what is the future of childcare? Like, does AI replace or at least augment teachers and nannies?
So true. And I don't even think that's future. That's already here. That reminds me of the recent video that I saw from ChatGPT, where they demoed its capabilities to act as a tutor and walked a kid step by step through his math homework. Although I have to say, I'm a little concerned. I see my 5-year-old already asking Google Home his math homework questions.
And this is where AI's job would be to act as a conscious tutor and not simply provide all the answers like search would. And I think AI is capable of doing that. Tell me more, Sanika, about how do you use these devices as a parenting tool?
So we use the Google Home for a lot of hands-free parenting. As an example, our now 2-year-old used to hate diaper changes as a baby, and we would then ask Google Home to play his favorite song, or we would tell it to change the colors of the lights in order to distract him during these things. The other things we do are, our biggest parenting hack is using the Google Home as a neutral third party for setting timers and reminders. So we are not the bad guys telling the kids to get dressed and get out of the house. It's just the Google Home which is playing a reminder. And the cool thing is, we can also give kids autonomy to do this. So now if it's our evening routine and the kids need to take a bath, I tell them, why don't you go and set a timer? And the kids will set a timer for 5 minutes. And now they have control over that process. And once that timer rings on the Google Home, they are so much more likely to cooperate. So that's been amazing.
Wow, that's a really smart use, and I love that you're building autonomy through this as well. How do you think it's affecting your kids growing up around these devices?
So obviously there's a lot of plus points like I mentioned. The biggest one is that we are actually able to enable the positives of technology without having to resort to screens. And screens is something I've concerned about because I have seen how my 5-year-old just becomes zombified if he's watching a video on my phone. But with a voice-only conversational device, it's really different. It removes the addictive effects of screens and it adds in the engagement through a back and forth conversation. But on the negative side, let me tell you a funny story. One of my younger kid's first words was actually stop because he'd heard it from us so often. We keep shouting orders to the device. If Google Home doesn't respond the first time, we keep interrupting. And we just say stop all the time. And so one of the things that I'm really conscious about now is how I interact with these devices. Because our kids are seeing us model less than polite social interactions.
Sanika, the creature that's benefiting the most from this is our dog. Because I agree with you, and we are also like very conscious of how we interact with our dog in front of our daughter and how we give commands. And I think you're right. Like, I wonder if kids are building empathy growing around these devices, which are almost like another person, and we are using voice commands, and the machine does what they ask them to do. On another note, Sanka, I think we cannot talk about tech without talking about trust and safety, especially as we are talking about kids. It's a concern for every parent, and I want to say the dark side of web does exist, but I think we already have some controls in our hand. We have, be it supervised access, be it like parental controls through the devices, even things like thinking consciously about how many cam-based devices you have at your home. And working in trust and safety, I can say that I see very active, dedicated work being done to deal with these challenges, and I'm very optimistic about the future.
Yeah, totally agree. I am a techno optimist. I believe these devices can be immensely helpful for kids. And I'm even more excited about AI and LLMs and the learning opportunities that they believe can be provided. So we would love to hear more from our listeners. Do you use Google Home or Alexa? What kind of positive or negative impacts have you observed on your kids? Reach out to us. Our contact details are in the show note captions. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.